Good morning, Mayap A. Arbak. Here's the plan. More work on the framing for the home theatre. More work on tiling on the outside of the house. More work on painting. More work on windows. More work on the modular kitchen. It's going to be another busy one today. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of progress. What could possibly go wrong? The windows guys last night did stay pretty late. It was well after dark, and one of the things they did wasn't so small. It was these windows on the dirty kitchen. So my beautiful Asawa really wanted windows that would open up and out rather than slide across. And that's what we've got. This morning, we've now got two fully tiled highlight areas here at the back of the house. As far as I can tell, the next area they're going to do is not going to be just here. I think it's going to be under that dirty kitchen window that we just looked at. The guys from the Modular kitchen cabinet team are back again this morning. We've had a conversation. I don't think I'm ever going to be happy with what we're going to end up with here, but we're going to make one adjustment to what's in front of you there. Hopefully in the end I can learn to just live with what we've got, because it's not anything like the renderings that we had. And in the end, the granite countertops are a big part of the problem. Plus, we are looking at non-standard sizes for almost everything here. So we're just going to have to compromise and hopefully be as happy as we can be with the final result. In the home theatre room, the frame is now red. Again, this is, although we're indoors, this is just a protective paint coating. And next, I'm not sure, still working on bits of framing. So I guess this is not quite done yet. This is the dining room, where yesterday they had already plastered over the piping where the ducts are for the air conditioners, but they hadn't painted across it. They have now. It is still very much just a first coat, but it's a beginning of filling in all these rather ugly gaps for where the ducting was put into the wall for air conditioners. We have spoken to the guys already this morning and said, can we do a little bit more adjustment to the heights on these light fixtures? We can't go lower, we've mentioned that before, but I think some of those tubes can go a little bit higher, and that will just create a better sense of depth on the light. Hopefully that works. But platform's going back up again to try and deal with this. Something really very significant that the engineer was keen to point out to me this morning. We now have door stops, as demonstrated by Lee Foreman Manny there.
Magnetic stopper.
And they are magnetic, so it'll hold onto the door once it's closed. There was no activity here yesterday. The start of the home theatre has trumped this. So this structure, for where the laundry will go, is entirely on hold at the moment. It's a little bit after lunch, and the rain came a little bit before lunch, and really it's put a stop to most of the work on the outside of the house. So we'll go across, have a look, see what's been going on inside. Resty might be the only one working outside, and he's kind of undercover, so he's okay just there. Still sanding on the beam on the edge of the patio. In the dirty kitchen, we've got Singing Rico, and a moment ago we had Singing Manny working on cabinets in here. They're also just checking to see these windows. They do go pretty much flat, horizontal, but at the moment there's nothing to keep them in the horizontal position, which is where I think we would like them to get to at some point and stay. So we've got to talk to the Windows guys about what we can do about that. They are also pretty heavy, but with a bit of effort, they open quite nicely. And this was the piece of wood that was taken away from here a long time ago. Marvin and his team have made the bar that will go on the outside of the dirty kitchen. So once the tiling's been finished there and a bit more cleanup, they might be ready to actually install this. In the home theatre, where we currently have a very bright light to illuminate everything, Oliver and Original Rico are still working on this frame for the riser. It's a big old piece of metal. This isn't going to go anywhere quickly. Very, very solid. In the main kitchen, we've got bits of cabinet all over the place, which is nice. It means they're getting closer to installing more of it. So, oh, and this is new, down underneath the kitchen island, something we had asked for. So it wasn't all just cabinets, but we have shelves here. Effectively, these are possibly bookshelves, possibly something else. Around the stairs, still more skim coating. Erwin's working on this area where you turn the corner. The chandelier has been adjusted again. Now I think I'm happy. It's utilising pretty much the full available height that we've got. It's not a cluster of lamps all together. Pretty nicely spaced out. I think that works much better than it was before. Mr. Willie seems to be full-time these days, working on skirting boards. Having applied an initial layer of paint, he's once again sanding to get a nice smooth finish. In Sabrina's bathroom, we still don't have the grout on either the wall or the floor. There's a bit more cleanup going on at the moment, so I suspect grout may follow fairly soon afterwards. Elson, one of the very few working outside. Bit of cleanup on the tiles around this column for the master bedroom balcony. And then, I think, some grouting still to be done. Well, with no end in sight to the rain, the tiling guys, Mark and the guy that I was calling Tony, it turns out it's not Tony, it's Bonnie, as in Bonifacio. They've gone home for the afternoon. They really can't work in this kind of weather, and this rain really does look like it's set for the day. That could be famous last words, but they were sent home at lunchtime. So we're not going to see any more progress with this area, but tomorrow's another day. Something I haven't specifically shown before is we have now got our pizza oven in the gazebo, but we do have a bit of an issue. The smoke vent is at this end, at the front of the pizza oven, and the roof, or the ceiling, is right here. So I think what we're going to have to do is to get someone to fabricate a bit of an elbow or two for us, so that when we do attach the chimney, it actually pokes out beyond the edge of the roof, which will be hanging over someone else's property, but I'm pretty sure they won't mind. It's just a field on the other side at the moment. So if we leave it as it is, we think there's just going to be too much smoke damage up on, well, partly on the white part of the roof, the ceiling here, and also then over on the soffit, the brown soffit there. So a bit of fabrication work we're going to have to get someone to do for us before we can tuck into pizza made in this oven. And I have to say, this is an oven that my beautiful Asawa bought for me back in Hong Kong a few years ago. It does make, I have to say, I'm boasting a bit, but it makes the best pizzas I've ever had. If you do it right. It just is a stunning piece of kit for making pizza. Can't recommend them highly enough. It's nearly 5 o'clock. I just had a 20-minute fight with my GoPro, which the GoPro nearly won. Never mind. Before we go and have a look around, we're going to go back to Harold Norman, who said, "What do you call a row of rabbits walking backwards? A receding hairline." Okay, we'll go and have a look inside. The cabinet guys are still here. The modular guys are still here. The rest of the crew are gone. We'll go and see what they were up to before they left. In the dirty kitchen, lots more woodwork has been going on, particularly on this long, relatively narrow set of cabinets, which will go above the window. But there's been more than that. They've been working on various pieces. There are a couple of doors over here, but they're sort of in, not properly in. But some more work going on here. Well, a lot more work going on here during the rest of the afternoon. In the main kitchen, one part was removed over there where the microwave's going to be. It wasn't the right size, well, it wasn't the right depth. They've put a little bit more temporarily over in that corner, but that will be raised up. And we're starting to get this cabinet, which will have the gap at the bottom for, well, whatever we want to put there, a toaster, a kettle, a bread maker, whatever we think is appropriate. So that's come on, that wasn't there before. Quite a lot of progress, and they're still working. Well, this is hopeless. In the home theatre, you can't see anything, but take my word for it. We've got the beginnings of the plyboard base on this riser area. I'm not sure it's entirely finished, but it's in, and we'll have to come back tomorrow so you can actually see what it looks like. There is still no sign of the glass guys coming back to put in banisters here and across the double height ceiling area. I'm beginning to wonder whether the plan has changed and they now won't come back until they can do the stairs as well. Watch this space. Well, because the modular guys are still here and their truck is still here, I'm still not really able to get a further back view. Now that this tiling has been done, now that the feature part of the wall on Sabrina's balcony and the master balcony have been done, I'm really hoping I can get a better, longer shot of this to show you a little bit more of what the finished frontage will be. But for now, this will have to do. Maybe I'll have to try and do this first thing tomorrow morning before the modular guys come in. We'll give that a try. But it is beginning to come together. Most of the decorative features are now done. There is still paint to be applied. There may, in some areas, still be some grout to be applied, but not much. And we don't yet have a front door. Well, we have it, but it's not been installed. But the front of the house, once we take away the scaffolding, is beginning to look like what it will look like. Hopefully, with the scaffolding gone and no van in the way, it'll look pretty good. Fingers crossed. So, with the exception of the modular guys, the day is done. I suppose today kitchens took centre stage a little bit more, both the main kitchen with the modular team and the dirty kitchen with the regular crew working on cabinets there. It's a shame I can't show you the next step in that home theatre. The light was not on, and I'm not going to fiddle with bare wires to try and switch lights on. I'll leave that to the electrician. Tomorrow morning we'll get a look. We'll see possibly also what the next steps are in that home theatre framing. See you then.